Hello and welcome to my channel. Today's reading is going to be What's Next in Love, and you can choose between one of three groups. And the first group is this raw rose quartz. The second group is the heart rose quartz, and then the other one is just a tumbled rose quartz. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'll see you in your reading. Hi, Group 1. Welcome to your reading. This is if you chose the raw rose quartz. I'm going to put it over here. Okay, so have your tarot cards out already, and then afterwards we'll pull we have your oracle cards. So let's get right into it. So first card is the Knight of Swords, and then second card is Ace of Wands. Third card is the Three of Pentacles, 10 of Swords, and then these two came out together, and it is the Emperor with the Six of Pentacles. Okay, I think that's all. Sorry about the glare, it's just from the window. Okay, so right away, and this could resonate either for you or like your person, can go either way, but obviously this is from your perspective. So anyway, so right away we have with the Knight of Swords, it does seem like someone is very interested in you, especially with that Ace of Wands backing it up. It seems like someone, and it's funny because in the card, you know, he's looking down with his eyes closed. So this person, you may already know this person, may not seem interested in you right away, or maybe kind of staying quiet a bit, but definitely they're interested because, you know, he has his sword up and he's just like ready to go. And I think the main thing is that he doesn't really know, and this is not like your person, I'm just speaking he from the card, your person could be whoever. But your person seems like they're ready to go, you know, no matter what. They're just like, I like you and I know that I want something with you. Don't really know how I'm gonna go after it, but I want you. And there's a lot of motivation here, like a lot with the Ace of Wands. They're very, very, very attracted to you. And it's almost like you're this light or fire. They're just like, it really is, what I'm getting is like moth to a flame, because it's almost like they see you and it's like, wow, what is this like fire I'm seeing? You're just completely lit up to them, and they're very, very interested. But with you, it seems like you may not see them as a love interest at first, or you may be keeping that part of yourself pretty tame, because it seems like you want to keep things platonic at first. With the Three of Pentacles, I see you kind of just coming together, or with other people coming together. You may see this person when you're out with friends or with coworkers, or just in a social environment or a work environment, just where there's other people around, and you may not think of this person in that way. But I'm also seeing that may be because of your past. You may have had something really painful recently, or just at some point in your past that you're still carrying around. Because with the Ten of Swords, it's really beautiful, the background. If you see it, it looks like, and it could be either or, it could be a sunset or a sunrise, but in this case I'm seeing it as a sunrise, and it looks like you're ready to go towards that, but you're still carrying around these burdens from your past, you know, these wounds, these painful experiences. And it seems like maybe you wanted to sort of go at it alone for a little bit. You know, you wanted to heal. And I think that's a very, very mature way to go about life, you know, just taking time to heal. And a lot of times people, when they go through something very painful, kind of want to rush into something new right away, almost just to erase the past. But maybe you've tried to do that and realized that didn't work for you, but you're really in this space where you just want to heal. But it seems like you've already done a lot of healing. And now it's sort of like you're ready to move forward, but you're not ready to take on anything new, or you don't think you are. And this person, it's really interesting because at first they show up as the Knight of Swords and they're just like, yeah, I want you and whatever, I don't care about what may get in my way to get to you. And it is a little bit naive, because it's sort of like, well, I don't see why I can't just go after you. There doesn't seem to be an organized like approach, like an actual like thought out approach to, to like asking you out. It's kind of just like they get around you and then maybe they say things or things just come out and it's like, what? And you may be confused as to whether or not they're interested. It's sort of like not necessarily mixed signals, but just confusing signals. Like, like when you get around someone and they just don't stop talking and then you're like, why is this person talking like that? Or it seems like that's the vibe that this person is giving me. But then you flip over here with the Emperor and the Six of Pentacles, and that's a completely different vibe. This is after this person spends time around you and really gets to know you and maybe understand a bit about your past, and they know how they have to come to you, and at this point, I think they realize just how much they do want you, how seriously they do take their attraction to you, because here it's sort of like with the Knight of Swords, it's sort of like, well, I like this person, I see them and I like them and I want them, without any sort of thought process. But then here with the Emperor and the Six of Pentacles, it's like, okay, I have to come correct if I want a chance with this person, because I know that they're not going to give me a chance if I don't come correct, if I'm not serious. And it's like, well, that's what you require. And I love how here with the Ten of Swords, we have this dawn, right? And then here with the Six of Pentacles, we have the sun just fully out behind him, behind this person. And that's what he's bringing you, because you see the Emperor, or that's what this person is bringing you. The Emperor has his scepter. Is that a scepter? Sorry if I'm wrong. But anyway, with the sun right behind it. And then here is the sun. Like what he's bringing you, what they're bringing you is the sun energy. And you are just so ready to soak it up, because I think this is something that you've been wanting. You just either didn't think that it was possible for you, or maybe you couldn't put energy into wanting that because it was just too hurtful. But this person is just more than willing and ready to step up for you. And it does seem like if you are open to it, that you would be willing to receive it, because it's a lot. This person really does come correct for you. And they're really going to help you heal a lot of things. And I see things going pretty slowly at first, because I think that's what you need. You need a slow approach. You need this to be step by step, like baby steps to getting somewhere serious. But this person is in it for the long haul in the beginning. And I think that's maybe why you don't really take this person seriously at first, because it kind of seems like, oh, well, hey, I want you. And that may be how this person comes off, as sort of like a charmer, like very, very like a ladies' man kind of person. And you're just like, yeah, that's not really for me. I've kind of been through too much to go through someone like that, to have experiences with someone like that. And this person recognizes that about you and really changes up their approach and is willing to give you something very serious in the way that you need it to. It really is sort of like whatever it is that you want or need for this to go, because I do see you being attracted to this person, because I see the Six of Pentacles as this mutual attraction of this person wanting to give to you and you wanting to receive from them. So it does feel like it leads up to this mutual understanding with each other, where you both have feelings for each other, but it needs to go in a certain way. And I especially love that we go from the Three of Pentacles to the Six of Pentacles. So this does start somewhat platonic and then grows really beautifully into something more romantic and serious, which is really nice. So let's get into your oracle cards. We have, this is from the love pack. This is the first card we have. Oh, let me move these cards up. Okay, I think that should be good enough. Okay, I'm not sure if you guys can hear the background, but the TV is on in the other room. Hopefully you can't, because that's some weird dialogue. But if you do, just try not to pay attention to it. But anyway, okay, so first card out, we have naivety. We have giving. There's that giving energy from the Six of Pentacles. We have truth. Oh, that's nice. And we have, oh, look at that. We have receiving, exactly what I was saying with the Six of Pentacles. You both, this person is so, like you can see in this card, this person is like, here's all my love. And then here's you, like, thank you. But the truth card being in between, that's what I mean about this person having to sort of come correct for you. Like you're not gonna give into this if it's superficial, if it's just like a casual thing, because you're at a point in your life where you just don't want that. You don't want to waste your time on that. It may have been that you were in something like that before, where you were giving a lot to someone and they were just not very serious about the connection, or at least not as serious as you were. And I think that really hurt you, and you just don't want to put yourself, and I think it took you a long time to heal from that dynamic. That may be something that comes from your childhood, where you were always putting in so much effort and just not getting much back in return. And that sort of, a lot of times our relationships can reflect a lot of our childhood wounds. And so that may have blew up in the form of a relationship for you. And it took a while to heal from that, because you have to recognize those patterns in order to heal from them, right? And that's the most painful part, is when you have to actually address those patterns and realize that, it starts with us. We start our own healing process, and we have to let it hurt. And you're coming with the Ten of Swords. That's not a light card. That's a heavy card to come out of. And, give yourself all the time that you need. And that's the great thing about it, is that this person really seems willing to give you what you need in the way that you need it as well. So we have some more cards. The next card is feeling unwanted. Yeah, that's exactly what I mean. I feel like this is where you were before, and you just don't want to be left to the side while you're putting in so much effort, and whoever you're dealing with is like, well, thanks, but whatever. Or they may have given the energy, like the efforts that you wanted, to someone else, and you're like, well, I was here giving all this to you and you didn't give me anything. So that's unfortunately very common. And so these last two cards came out together. It's irresistibility and responsiveness. Okay, Leo, both in the chat. Yeah, this is such a beautiful reading, because the oracle cards are very straightforward, and you can sort of see where it just sort of shows the whole story unfolding, where we have, in the beginning, this person, and I feel like with the naivety is very reflective of your past, and as well as your hesitation in moving forward, where in the past, again, it's that dynamic. And I think this is something that was very repetitive for you in your relationships. Sorry, the dog. Anyway, so it was something very repetitive for you in your relationships, and maybe not even just romantic relationships, your relationships all around, with your family maybe, or friends, or just the people that you've been around, where you felt very abandoned almost, by the way in which they handled your relationships or your emotions, where you just felt very alone. And And it was just a very painful thing when you had to face the truth of that. You know, the truth of the fact that the people that you dealt with in the past, either they just didn't feel the same way about you, or they just didn't take you very seriously. And it made you feel like a fool, which is really, really sad. And it's a hard thing. And I think, you know, we've all been there where you just feel like a fool because you give so much to someone and they just take advantage of it. And then you're left, you know, with the pieces of that. So I do feel, so when this person comes in, and if they already are in your life, it seems like you're very hesitant because you're trying to reverse that. You see in the image, this girl here, she's looking at this person as an angel, right? But then here, there's the horns and the tail, because it's like a devil, right? The angel and the devil. And I think you try to reverse that with this person, where you try to look at them as like the, you know, the more sinful side of things, you know, where you see a lot of shadow, and thinking, you know, this person is going to do the same thing to me that everybody else does, so I'm not even going to waste my time, you know. But it actually is flipped for you. And maybe in the beginning it is sort of like that. Maybe that is the approach that they were going to come to you with, because we do have that Ace of Wands, which is very, which is very, very fiery, you know. It's very, very attractive, and it's very like impulsive, especially with that Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords is extremely impulsive. And so it seems like that in the beginning, because this person sort of wants to start off really hot and heavy and get straight to the point. And you're just like, no, I don't think so. And it's really funny with the Three of Pentacles. It's like, yeah, no, let's just stay on topic with whatever we're doing here. You know, and this person is like, oh, okay. And really gets to know you and really, really catch feelings for you. And so we have with giving, this person is serious about you and is serious about giving you what you want and what you need. And at first you will feel like, wait, what? But with truth here, you recognize that. You recognize that they're coming to you seriously. It's either because they're very persistent, or they say the right thing, or they do the right thing. And I'm getting into more that they do the right thing, because for you it really is more than just about words. You know, it's about how someone shows their intentions to you, and they do, and you see that, and that's what allows you to open up to this person with the receiving here. You feel like, you know what, let me take this chance, because they're showing me a lot of effort, and I can see that they're genuine. So you do give them a chance. And then, you know, it's like a flip. I love this feeling unwanted with irresistibility and responsiveness, because that just reflects, again, what we have here in the beginning. You know, that feeling unwanted of that's, it's like, you know what it is? They see all your wounds from your past and they flip it. You know, it's like a switch. And we can really see like the dark into the light, where they just, it's like all the ways that you were hurt in the past, they come and give you what you were supposed to get, you know, what you wanted before. They give it to you, and they give it to you in this beautiful, grand way. And it's really beautiful, because you can see this person here like, oh, okay. And this one is just like running with this bouquet of flowers, and it's really beautiful. And then you just respond with the same energy. This is a very mutual connection. It's very beautiful, and it's something that can really grow. You have 3 healing cards in a row, so, and they all, you know, go with each other along the same theme. So this is going to be a very healing connection for you, and it's going to allow you to really become more of who you are, if that makes sense, where you may have been held back before because of your wounds, you know, because maybe you thought yourself a certain way, and this person shows you that that is not how you should see yourself, because you're so much more. This person really helps to bring out the best in you. It's a really, really beautiful connection, and I'm super excited for you. And that's all I'm seeing for you right now. But thank you for being here, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye. Hello, group 2. Welcome to your readings. If you chose this heart rose quartz, I'm gonna put it right over here. Okay, so your cards are out, and let's get to your reading. Okay, first card is the Knight of Coins. Second card is Judgment. And then these two came out together, so. Okay. Page of Wands with the Five of Wands in reverse. It's weird because, I don't usually use reversals, and that one just came out reverse. I remember when I was shuffling, it just like flipped out. I was like, okay. And then these two came out together as well. It's the Five of Pentacles with Temperance. Okay. All right. So, okay. This is interesting. This is giving me a similar message to group 1, actually. Okay. So for you, again, I do see someone interested in you, but I feel like they've been interested in you for a while. Yeah, for a while. You may have known this person for a while. I mean, this could be an ex, but I'm not really getting that it's an ex. I know that a lot of people don't want to deal with their exes. Me being one of them, I get it. But anyway, but then there's a lot of people who do. So it could go either way. But then this Knight of Coins, this person, they're very persistent. And they're in it for the long haul, So this person I'm getting has been, and here this knight has his eyes open and he's on it, he's focused, and he's holding this coin like, I'm getting there no matter what, no matter how long it takes, no matter what it takes. The knights are very, very determined, they're very focused on their end goal, and it doesn't matter how far away they are from it or how much it takes to get there, they're gonna get there. And this is one of the knights that just will not give up. He will not give up no matter what. This one is in it for the long haul. And so I'm getting this person has been into you for a while. For a while. And they will not give up. They're just like, yeah, I like this one. This person is super cool. And so with Judgment, it may be something that you may have, I'm getting that you may have known this person for a long time and that you just never looked at them in this way. They may be a friend, or maybe someone that you used to go to school with, or you used to work with, or you just knew from mutual friends, or maybe family members. Or this is someone who's been in your life for a long time, and you never look at them that way. It's almost like, oh yeah, that's that person. Oh, hey, cool. How are you? How you doing? It's been a while. And then suddenly, it's like the veil comes off, and you see this person in a completely new way. And you're like, what? Like, how have you been standing here in front of me all this time and I never knew? Because with this Judgment card, it's just like this, it's like they had feelings for you and you never knew. You never even thought that they could have feelings. You just never even contemplated that. You're like, no way, and then you find out and it just makes you look at them completely differently. And I'm not getting that you necessarily find out from this person. It's like you find out in another way. Maybe someone else spills the beans or something, or maybe you just notice certain things. I don't know, but it is like a shock when you find out. Because with this Judgment, it's like, holy crap. And then you see with this specific Judgment card, we have the heart with the wings right here in front of the sun. And I love that because this Knight of Coins is right in front of the sun, and it's like looking right at you. And they've known all along, that you held this special place for, in their hearts. And you were just like clueless to it. But it feels like, whoa, it's you. Like, you're someone I can really, like, it's like everything about them is a surprise to you all of a sudden. it's like, wow, I never knew you were into that. It's you have a lot of mutual interests that you don't know about until you see this other side of them. And with the Page of Wands and the Five of Wands in reverse, it's sort of like they felt like they just couldn't have you, you know? Like they couldn't, like you were just unattainable. Like you were this precious, precious little gem that they just couldn't get, they couldn't have. And so they just stood idly by and just watched you from afar with this, with, you know, and it's funny because that is the Page of Wands, you know, that saying, they were holding a torch for you. That's really what I'm getting. And I think this is actually kind of a torch or something like that. I don't know. There is a fire here. So it's sort of like they've been holding this flame for you this whole time. And then you have the Five of Pentacles with Temperance, and it's like, that's it's the same message, you know. It's like, you know, the Five of Pentacles is you're wanting something, you needing something, right? You're experiencing lack, but what you don't know is that help is available to you right there if you were to just look for it, if you were just to go there, you know. If this person in the card, if she just, you know, turned around, she would see that the salvation is right there behind her. And that's exactly what it is for you. And Temperance, Temperance is such a beautiful card when it comes to relationships, because it's that give and take, that balancing each other out, that angelic sort of force, you know. It's healing, it's magical, it creates the impossible. And that's what this connection really is. It's this beautiful, beautiful healing connection that you never knew it was there. How could it have been there this whole time and I just didn't know? So if you are not aware of who this person is, you probably are not. Or if there's no one, you know, in your life that you could think of, I'm getting this person kind of comes out of the blue for you, but it does seem like someone you've known for a while. And if it isn't someone that you've known for a while, you may meet someone and it starts off very platonic. You know, it doesn't seem like it's gonna be that for you. Like you just meet someone, it's like, oh hey, yeah, I met that person, they're cool, whatever. And then it just suddenly changes. That's the dynamic that I get from this group. From these cards, it's very much a hidden desire. Like you have a secret admirer. And then when you find out, it's like, it just unleashes all these emotions within you that are very mutual to theirs. And Temperance is one of my favorite cards when it comes to connections. It's just that beautiful, like, soul family, that soul connection of just, it reminds me of the whole yin and yang, because, you know, Temperance is mixing water and fire. I mean, not necessarily in this card, but but to create, you know, what they say is steam, but it's basically an impossible combination. But Temperance creates something from it. And that's what I'm getting. It's like, this is something that you didn't think was possible with this person, and neither did they. And you come together, and it's this beautiful, beautiful mixing of energies, of souls. It's really beautiful, because, you know, Temperance makes magic. All right, so let's get into your oracle cards that I have here. Okay, first card is, oh, you know, I did this with the last group. I forgot to put up the cards. That's my baby in the back, if you hear him. My little kitten, my little baby cat. I had to put him in the other room because in the last video he was just climbing all over the table. And I didn't think that was something people wanted to see. So I had to put him over there for a little while. He'll be okay. I'll give him lots of cuddles. I mean, I always do anyway, but anyway, so, okay, first card is doubt. Second card is loneliness. Next card is defensiveness. And then these two cards came out together. We have good timing and romance. And then joy. Let's move these over a little bit. This is such a beautiful energy. What I love is how this, it's similar to the last group, but there's like a switch going off. Everything just flips around. You just go from this darker energy, not dark, but this sort of like harsher energy. So this really beautiful, like light energy. And mind you, the grace cards, there's only about 5 or 6 of them, and so you got one, and that's like one of the best cards in the deck. Oh, excuse me a second. Okay, sorry about that. There's someone at the door, and there was chaos. But anyway, so yeah, I don't know if I said this already, but similar to the last group, this is really like I love that there's like a light switch going off, But anyway, so again, I'm seeing the same thing. I feel like, you see this person and you're just like, I'm not sure. Like, I don't think so. It's almost like you find out, or maybe they do suddenly tell you, but you see how they're from afar here. I don't feel like they're gonna come out and say, or maybe they let it slip one day by accident, or maybe there's a night out and everyone's drinking or something, and it just sort of slips out. It's definitely like an accidental thing, and you're just like, wait, I don't know, but it's like a seed gets planted. And then you're like, whoa, wait, what? And at first you're just like, I don't think so. And I think you sit with it for a while. This loneliness card, I think you start to think about what's possible with this person. And it just, because I feel like it doesn't seem like either one of you thought it was possible. I'm not sure why. Maybe they're like a friend of your sibling, or of a friend of a friend, whatever. Or maybe maybe you guys didn't seem compatible. Maybe there have been some differences. Just for some reason, or maybe you just didn't look at them that way, because they definitely look at you that way. And maybe that was the obstacle here, and then maybe it takes a little bit for you to wrap your head around it. When you've known someone for a while and you just kind of put them in a certain place in your life, and it's weird to take them out of that place. So so at first it's sort of like, no, there just seems to be some hesitation at first. I think it really is about wrapping your head around it. It's similar to this 5 of Pentacles here, where that hope is there, but you're just, for some reason, not going there for it. And that's what I'm seeing with this connection. It's sort of like, you find out about it, and it takes a second for you, a minute even, for you to wrap your head around it. And then synchronicity comes about in your life, and things align very perfectly for both of you to come together. And I think you do realize that the feelings are mutual, that you could see something with this person, that you could have something with this person. And it's really sweet, because I think you guys go out or something, or you hang out and it's just the two of you. I think in the past you may have been around other people. It feels like you've always, like, there's always been other people around, or whatever circumstances. So whatever circumstances were in the way, it just seems like there was always something when you guys were together. But finally, it's just you two, and it's like because that seed started to grow within you, when you guys finally have that time alone together, it's like, I just see fireworks. I just see things bursting, like, oh, this is nice. This is crazy. There's going to be a lot of, like, holy cow. I say holy cow. I never say that. But it's like, wow, how is this even happening? And just, it turns into this really blissful. Joy is one of the best cards to get ever in anything. It's one of the best feelings to experience. And for you to experience this with this person, it just, things really, it's like this domino effect. Once that seed is planted in your head about this person, it grows, and you two come together. And it's just really, really beautiful connection. And it's just going to be a lot of smiles. You're going to be smiling a lot. You're going to be very happy. And it really is about you giving this person a chance. And at first, you're not going to really want to. Excuse me. It's just because maybe something just maybe they're not your type, or maybe other people don't think you should be with this person, or for whatever reason, there's gonna be hesitation. It's gonna be because in theory you may think it doesn't seem right, or doesn't go right, or you two just don't go together, it just doesn't work, or whatever case may be, whatever lies we tell ourselves. I'm certainly guilty of that. But once you put that to the side and realize that none of that matters, and you just see them for who they are, just the person that they are, it's going to be this epiphany for you. And they're going to be what you've been waiting for all this time, that you've been seeking in other people that always seemed right but weren't. You're going to find in this person. And it's just a beautiful thing. It seems like you've been on quite the dating roller coaster for a long time. And they come in, they're like when you get to the top of the roller coaster and there's that pause there, and then you just dive down in that adrenaline rush that, a lot of people don't like, but I certainly love it. It's like the best feeling. It's exhilarating. It's exciting, and it's just so much fun and really beautiful. So that's what I see for you guys. And I hope that was helpful, and I hope you liked it, and I hope to see you in the next one. Thanks for being here. Bye. Hi, group 3. Welcome to your reading. This is for those of you who chose the rose quartz tumble stone. Put it right there. Okay, so this is what is next in love. Start with your tarot cards, and first card is the 9 of Wands. Second card is the Lovers. That's starting off pretty good. Okay. Next card, these two came out together. Wow, we have the Hierophant with the Fool. Hope you can see them. I know there's a glare from the window. Okay. And then these two also came out together. The 9 of Pentacles with the Ace of Cups. This is really sweet energy. It's really sweet. Okay. So right away, with the 9 of Wands, which I feel represents you, you have this super independent energy about you. We have 2 9s here, the 9 of Wands and the 9 of Pentacles, and they're both very independent cards. Very independent. You're like, I can do bad all by myself. And you really can. You see this chick, she is like literally on fire. And well, not literally, but you know what I mean. And you're just the type of person that could really, you're one of those people, very rare people, who can live your life on your own and be perfectly fine with that. You would be just fine. You would be happy. You would be fulfilled with that. And it may get lonely at times, but it's sort of like you're used to it. You're good with that. Like, you're maybe not good with it, but you're prepared for that. That's what I get from that. You're prepared for whatever a life of solitude means, because you're just like, I'm good. Because for you, I think a successful relationship, or a very, like a soul connection type of relationship, is not guaranteed. And you know that. You're like, not everyone gets that. So it's very possible that I won't get that. So let me be prepared for that. You're very prepared for like not meeting the love of your life, because you're just like, you know what, I'm not gonna get my hopes up for something that may never happen. So let me take care of me, let me do me, and that's that. But there's always a but, right? There's something different in the cards for you. And I think that for you may have been open to finding, like, to meeting like the love of your life, but again, you knew that wasn't a sure thing. for you, for anyone really, right? They like, they like to put that out there that everyone is going to meet the love of their life, but you know what? Some people don't. And that's a really harsh truth to hear, but it's true. Not everyone gets to meet the love of their life. And it's sad, it's tragic, but it happens. And you are just like, yeah, I know. And I'm not going to be one of those people whose life gets completely like torn upside down because of that realization. You want to get ahead of the curve. But interestingly enough, you doing that it sets you up to wind up meeting the love of your life. And it's really beautiful because it comes unexpectedly. You're in the midst of creating this very independent life for yourself, and suddenly you meet this person who matches you on every level, is just as independent as you, is just as secure as you, is just as financially able to take care of, obviously independent, but just has much of their shit together as you do. They're complete. They're the whole package for themselves, and just like you are for yourself, and they just match you. And I think that because you've been so good at taking care of yourself, and you felt like that was something that you had, like a one-up on other people, like, not to put anyone else down, just something that you had for yourself. It was an asset that you were really able to take care of yourself, take care of your shit. And you thought maybe that's too much for other people, because you may not have seen too many other people have their shit together as much as you do, and then in comes this person like, yeah, I do, so what's up? It's they just match you. And I love the red string here. It reminds me of the red string of fate, which is a really beautiful story, which is famous. I think it's Plato, which you guys can look up if you want. But that's what I'm seeing here. It reminds me of that. And this feels very orchestrated. It's almost like because you have your shit together, because you've done everything for yourself, and you're like, I don't need anything else. It just opens up this segue for this person to just come right on in and be like, I can offer you just as much as you can offer me. And this could be really great, And I think for you, you like being independent. You like being on your own. You like that security. The security of being by yourself gives you. And maybe I think it is mostly independence, but I think some of it is also being protective of yourself. Maybe even overly protective of yourself. Because because of the fact that you realize, that not everybody gets that be all end all kind of relationship. That whatever relationship you do get into may not end well. It may not end well. It may not be all sunshine and roses all the time. And you may even be the type of person that is so independent that at the first sight of any conflict, you're like, you know what? I don't need to sit here and deal with this. And so I'm out. And you know what? Sometimes you do need to do that. Sometimes you need to not put up with bullshit. But in that same note, relationships are not easy. They take work. They take compromise. They take mutual effort, And that's something I think you're going to learn with this person, because I don't think you've met anybody that was worth that for you. Worth that from you, worth that effort, because I don't think you let yourself really get too attached. But with this person, is almost like, not to say you don't have a choice, because everyone always does, but the feelings are so overwhelming that you can't deny them. You can't pretend that they're not there. They're right in front of your face, and they're really going to test that notion for you, that if you are open to it, you'll go with it. I think that's something that you may have said to yourself a lot. I'm open to it if the right person comes along, but it's like every person that comes along doesn't really get the chance, because hey, maybe they weren't the right person, but then this person comes in and it's like, oh wait, this really could be the right person. Am I going to give them that chance? And that's going to be a test for you. It is, because with the Hierophant and the Fool, this is something you have to choose. And this could be your person, your lifelong person, because with the Lovers and Hierophant, that usually represents marriage. If you want that, or if that's something that, is possible for you, that's what this relationship could be. You know, this is one of those be all end all kind of relationships, but you got to choose it. You know, you gotta be all in, whether that means it's gonna last forever or not. And that's something you're gonna have to think about, because you've had this sort of black and white approach to your love life. It's either they're the one or they're not. They're the one or they're not. And they're not, so I'm out. You know? But there's never a sure thing going into relationships. It's never 100%. Anything could happen at any time. And it's a million different things, you know? When you jump into something, it has to be all in, not just dipping your toe in the water. You have to deep dive in there, you know? That's what this relationship is going to bring up in you, whether or not you could do that, you know? And if you do, this is something that's going to be such a beautiful thing. It's going to open you up in ways you've never even imagined, because it's going to make you realize all the ways that you've been closed off, that you never considered. You know, you never thought that was you being closed off. You thought that was you having your shit together. And yeah, it was, but maybe not in this realm of things, you know, in the area of romance. So with the Nine of Pentacles, again, this is your own security. You like that. The Ace of Cups. This is such a genuine connection. What I think is interesting is that this is really showing your side of it, your perspective, because I think it really is up to you whether or not you want this in your life. Do you want to have that deep love, you know? And if you do, it's like that cup, like you have the perfect person to give your cup to, and they're going to give you their cup, and they're going to receive yours, and it's going to be this really beautiful mutual connection that will be very long lasting, you know? If not marriage, then very, very, very long time. Very committed relationship. So we're going to go into your oracle cards now. So I'm going to move these up, try to move them as up, because you actually got a lot of oracle cards, a lot more than the other two groups. Shh, don't tell them. Let me see if we can still see the cards. I hope that's enough space. If not, I'll just move them up. Okay, so yeah, you got a lot of cards. I'm gonna have to do like 2 rows. Okay, so first card is Come Hither. And we have Trap. Which is how you may see this. You may see this as like, this is not real. We have Letting Go. We have Fear of Commitment. And I'm not surprised to see that here. And we have Self-Love. And we have Needy. Actually, wait. Oops, sorry. These came out together, I believe. So maybe I should put these on the bottom. Yeah, these came out together. Oh, yeah. Okay. Sorry. There was so many cards, it's like confusing. These came out together. These 3 came out together. Oh, I hope I can move these up a little bit more so you guys can see the cards. Okay. Yeah, that's good. And then these 3 cards. Okay. Sorry, I'm very meticulous about this. Blessing and a curse. Okay. Alright, that's good. As I go to another card to fix. Okay. So, can you see all the cards? Maybe if I move it slightly down. Okay, that works. Okay. See what I mean? Got a lot of oracle cards. All right. So come hither, trap, letting go, fear of commitment, self-love, and neediness. I feel like the top row of the oracle cards is a lot about how you viewed relationships in the past. I think you've been so scared of losing yourself in a relationship, losing yourself in this sort of bond that you feel like you can't let go of, this codependent type of relationship. And maybe this is something you saw a lot growing up. Maybe, the adults in your life when you were a child were in those types of relationships where it was very codependent, where maybe you saw people getting cheated on or abused. And I don't say that lightly. That's a terrible thing to witness. So I'm sorry if you did growing up. But I think that this is rooted in something from your childhood, things that you have witnessed. And I think that you decided very young that you were not going to be one of them. You were not going to be one of those people who was stuck in a relationship that just tormented you, or you felt like you couldn't move or breathe without them. And so you stuck in these toxic patterns because you had no other choice, or you felt like you had no other choice because that's what you've seen growing up, so you decided you were not going to be one of those people. You were not going to be a person that was controlled by your relationships or by your emotions even. You just wanted to have a very, very strict hold on your relationships. And I think that's something that became, I think that it started off in a good way for you. It gave you a good handle on life. It gave you this clear focus on how you want to move, on how you want to go about the world, and then it's something that sort of became an obstacle for you. It became something that held you back in your love life. And I think you were alone for a long time because this seed that was planted in your life when you were a child began to grow weeds. It began to create havoc in your garden. Forgive my metaphor. I'm all about the metaphors, but they don't always come out right. So I think it was something that just became, that it started off as a really good staple for you to have, in regards to your professional life, or your careers, or even just your relationships. It allowed you to take a stand where maybe other people didn't or wouldn't. And you held that position, of being strong, being the strong one. And I think that grew into something where it blurred the line between, having good boundaries and keeping people away, good people away. And I think it became harder for you to discern, what kind of boundaries you should have, because boundaries go both ways. A lot of time we hear about not having enough boundaries, but there are a lot of times where you can have too many boundaries. And I think that was really the case for you. So I think this person comes in and tests that. It tests that for you. And I'm never going to say that you have too much self-love, because that's not possible. Because that's not the same as narcissism. Narcissism is that toxic, but that's not self-love. That's a mental thing, that's a controlling thing. That's a completely different thing, but that's not rooted in love. That's rooted in control and a warped self-image. But self-love is when you see yourself and you see yourself in others, and you have that openness and that beautiful connection to your heart. And I think that is something that you have that is really beautiful. And it allows you to have these boundaries, these healthy boundaries. And that's what I mean with this neediness. It's like you're not gonna be a part of something that isn't healthy, and you can trust that. And I think maybe that's something that held you back. You didn't trust that you would have those healthy boundaries if you were to give your heart away. You felt like if you did that, that meant it was doom and gloom for you, that it was over. in a horrible way, in a paralyzing way. But you can trust yourself because you have those boundaries. You're not the people that you grew up around, you know? You're someone who really worked so hard on taking care of yourself in, you know, the right way. And I think that's why it's different for you, because you know how to love yourself. You know what real love is. And so you can trust that if you were to give your heart away and it didn't turn out well, that you would be able to walk away because you already have that ingrained in you. You don't have to overdo it. You don't have to obsess about it. You don't have to be overprotective about it. You have it, you know, you have that code within you, you know, and you certainly have the strength. So you don't need to worry about getting lost in something. And that's where we go into the bottom row, you know. I think that's what this comes up about. We have a lot about like letting go, you know, with the trap. It's like letting go of that old mentality. I'm so sorry if you hear that. My cat is really trying to get in the room. And then we have here with this loss and bad attitude. This is something where you're like, you don't want to experience that, or you don't want to lose yourself in that. But then there's this person who's like, I'm here. All the things that, and you may have experienced it too. You may have had these like, but I don't feel like they were long lasting relationships. I mean, they could have been, but I think for the majority of you, they may have been short-term relationships that maybe got out of hand quickly, and it tested you, and you got frazzled, and you didn't trust whether or not you can make the right decision. But you certainly can. And this person is like, I'm here for you. This person, it's up to you. I think it's about your perception as well. You know, if you want to let that in, a person, it's like you know, it's what the saying is, if the, you know, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. For you, it's like when you're ready for love, that love will appear. And I know that this expectation card is like a problem card, but I think in your case, it's actually one of those things where it meets your expectations for the, you know, and the healthier, because you got the lovers and you got the lovers twice, and you have sensuality. This is about letting all your walls down for this person, for love in general. And I think that if you wanted to have that love in your life, it will come. And it's one of those things, like, as soon as you choose to and you mean it within yourself, it's going to appear. But you have to choose it. If you want that, you know, if you don't, your life is going to stay the same. It's not going to change. It's going to be you and your independent ways, which is a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. But if you want love, if you want that connection, that soul connection, it's there for you, and it will show up for you. And if not immediately, because, you know, very soon after, because you're going to start to see subtle changes within yourself. Once you make that choice, you're going to see yourself opening up in ways that you never realized, you know, or seeing things in certain ways, or maybe being more understanding with other people in their relationships, or even being more forgiving, you know. And it's going to allow you to open up and let this love come into your life. It's only if you want it, though. And you are not being forced to choose that. And I don't want it to seem like I'm trying to push you in that direction. People can live beautiful lives on their own. They really can, you know. So if that's something that you want and you're happy with, don't let anybody pressure you into thinking that you're not someone who would be, honestly, because you have such a strong will. But if you find yourself thinking about love a lot, or fantasizing about the perfect person or connection, you know, maybe that's a sign that that is something that you want, and that you can start to be open with. You're someone who is very, very successful at doing the inner work. You can do it, and you will get it done. If there's like a pattern that you don't like about yourself, you can change it. Boom, like that. If there's something that you're doing, or maybe you become too attached to a certain product, or I don't know, maybe like a coffee that may not be the healthiest, but you love it, and you're like, oh yeah, once in a while, and then you wind up having it like every day. Once you recognize that, boom, you don't have it again for like 2 months. You know, you're that type of person that you take care of things right away, And so that's why I feel like if you were to choose to have this in your life, it would happen very quickly, because you're so good at doing the inner work. You know, whatever work that you need to do to get something done, you do it. And if this was something that you want, it will be there for you. And if it's not something you want, then it won't, because you don't want it. You know, you're a very powerful manifester. You're very powerful. And you're someone that is not afraid to do the hard thing. So I would suggest that you really sit with this and think about it and feel what you want, not what society is telling you or what the people around you are telling you, or just whatever, what you want. You know, meditate on it, really think about it, feel it out. What would bring you the most happiness? What would bring you the most joy, the most peace? You know, and choose that no matter what. Always choose that. So that's all I'm seeing for you in this reading. Thank you so much for being here, and I wish you all the luck in your decision. And I hope to see you in the next one. Thanks for being here. Bye.